Hello and welcome to 2023. I am so excited to be back. I really am. I've just missed my connection with everyone so much. And although I've had an amazing break and I feel quite rejuvenated, I was unwell, had a virus for some of it, but that made me stop. And that made me go into that yin space that I talked about this in December before the break. I've really felt like it was going to be a yin time, a real time of going in. And it certainly was for me. I mean, I had lots of fun time, lots of family time, but also it was a really beautiful yin space. And I hope that you had that also, and that you were able to allow that flow of inspiration to move through you, because you have to be in that yin space to have that flow of inspiration. So, or to allow it, I should say, that flow of inspiration. So, as a result, even last week, I was thinking, oh, I'll do a YouTube live stream, or maybe I'll write a newsletter. And I just couldn't. I couldn't put energy out. I just wanted to stay in that space. And then it came to this morning, I woke up and went, okay, I'm officially back at work. I'm ready to put energy out there. And so I'm very excited about the year. And I decided I was going to do this as a podcast episode, but the reason I decided to just jump on YouTube, even though I've done it as a live and I haven't notified anyone, but people will listen after. But I wanted to do it as a YouTube live stream so that you could also comment, because obviously with a podcast, you can't comment. And that's because I want to ask you about your word of the year or your intention for the year. Very often we come up with a word or a phrase that is symbolic of how we want the year to go. And the way I tend to think about that is that it's like your North Star, it guides you. And so it's really important what you decide on, because in many ways you are setting an intention energetically. You are setting an intention for the year, that word is a part of your life or your business, or maybe you have one for both, maybe you have separate ones. um, and everything, all the choices you make in your life are aligned with whatever that word or phrase is. And so before I start though, I went to draw a card beforehand. I was going to draw it for myself, and I thought, no, I'm going to draw it for everyone who listens to this live stream. And so I just said, okay, in terms of this setting your intention for the year, or creating your word, your North Star for the year, um, what what card would be appropriate? And this is from Rebecca Campbell's Rose Oracle. And the card is the wild rose. Like, how perfect is that? So underneath it, it says, do it your way, embrace your uniqueness, untamed. And I tell you, if I could have one wish for you this year, that would be it. That would be it. And so that really does tie in with the word that I've chosen for 2023, which is adventure. And as soon as I got that word, I think I was waking up one morning and it just came to me. And I thought, oh my God, I want an adventure. I want my life to be an adventure. I feel like it hasn't been an adventure, like many of us, for the last 3 years. And this year, I want adventure. And as I was just walking on the beach earlier today, I thought about it, and I was thinking how a few years ago I chose the word expansion. And in some way, adventure leads to expansion. But the difference is expansion sort of sounds flowy and soft and quite gentle, doesn't it? Adventure has a bit of excitement to it. It's a bit edgy. It's a bit, well, if you're going adventure, you're actually choosing the challenges as well, because adventure is about stepping into the unknown. And very often there are challenges with that. And so I sort of feel excited and stimulated by that, because that's what I've decided. I want to really step into the unknown this year. I want to try new things. I want to experiment and get out of my comfort zone. And I mean, I tend to live life I mean, I do that in my business anyway. I've done that a lot in my life before, but I feel like I haven't fully done it as much in my life as I would like to, especially in the last few years. So that is what this year is all about. And every choice I make, I'm running it by through that now. Does that feel adventurous for me? And already I've changed my mind about a couple of things because it didn't feel adventurous. So I'm going, as many of you may know, I'm heading to Europe at the end of April, and I'm now going for 2 months. I'm gonna run the La Rose Mystery School in Provence, which is in May, early May. And I have now also decided to stay a bit longer and have a 3-day Biz Priestess retreat in Glastonbury at the end. And even when that just came to me last week for Glastonbury. I was getting drawn to Glastonbury, and I'm like, I don't want to go to Glastonbury. That's what I was thinking. I've been to Glastonbury a couple of times. Funnily enough, Rebecca Campbell lives in Glastonbury that created these cards. I'm not sure that I want to go back there, but it just kept coming back to me. It's like, go to Glastonbury, have a small group, run a retreat in Glastonbury. And then I found the perfect location, and I went, "Okay, okay, Glastonbury it is." And now I'm so excited because I know there is something there. There's something with the land there, and it's gonna be a very intimate group, and, so it's an adventure. And also it opens the way for me. This trip for me in Europe, I've been to Europe a lot. I've spent quite a lot of time there, but this time I've decided to go to the places that I've never been that I wanted to go to for some time. So I'm not going back to the usual places other than the place I'm going to in Provence for the mystery school. Everywhere I'm going is new except Glastonbury. um, so I won't run through my travel itinerary with you now, but they're all new places. There's only one place in the UK that I won't say that I haven't been to. There's lots of places I haven't been to, but that I've really wanted to go to, and that's Cornwall. I've never been to Cornwall. All the time I've lived in England, never been. And so from Glastonbury, I'm like, great. I can now go down to Cornwall. And so it's like, oh my gosh, I'm getting to complete with that too. So it's almost like seize the day. That's how I'm feeling right now. It's seize the day. This is why I'm choosing adventure. And even I was thinking about what I want to offer through my business this year, not just what I'm feeling inspired to offer. And those in-person events do really feel important. So I will have the Provence Mystery School, I will have the Glastonbury retreat, and then later in the year, I'm going to hold the Mystery School again, but in Australia or New Zealand, probably Australia. But uh, that is so exciting. That is like, oh my gosh, that's adventure. That's those beautiful in-person connections where we just create absolute magic. I mean, I love being in a group anyway, but as you all know, being in a group in person is absolutely magical. So so all of that lights me up. So I was thinking, okay, well, I've got 3, 4 months before I go away. What will I offer? What feels exciting? And the first thing that I came up with was actually um, to offer the Heart of Business again. That's my mentorship, 3-month mentorship program. I didn't offer it last year because I didn't feel the inspiration. I almost did and then pulled back. And then suddenly this year, I thought, "Okay, I'll do that." And but I don't know why I said suddenly this year because no, it was like there was no suddenly, there was no excitement about it. I just went, "No, no, I don't feel inspired by it." And I wanna feel inspired. It has to be an adventure. Everything I offer in my business must be an adventure as well. And that felt passé. It felt like something I'd done before, and the energy's not there for me anymore. And so then suddenly last week, again, probably walking on the beach, it was, um, I was thinking about the mystery schools and what the purpose of them is. And then I went, oh my gosh, I know what I want to do. I want to offer a 5 week, it's not a course so much, an experience, I often refer to it as, but and I'm just going to call it Remember. And it's all about remembering the gifts that we developed in other experiences that our soul has had that we have not fully embodied yet in this life, even though we've mastered them in previous incarnations. And for anyone that's had an Illuminate Your Soul Path session with me, that's what that's about. And, or certainly a lot of the sessions end up being about that. And so I just thought, oh my gosh, this is such an important time. This year is so much about us integrating all of who we are and not just our experiences from this life, but at the experiences our soul has had in other incarnations. And there are particular incarnations where the gifts are very powerful and are wanting to be integrated right now. And those incarnations you've possibly tapped into before, but they are epochs really, that like Lemuria, Atlantis, Avalon, talking about Glastonbury, ancient Egypt. You know, they're things that many, many people have a resonance with and have a sense of having experienced something there, but maybe have not fully realized the gifts mastered in those experiences. And so, in this program that I'll offer, remember, over the 5 weeks, we will immerse ourselves back in a particular epoch and in remembering the gifts from that epoch and integrating them into who we are now. That's the 4 that have come through so far. The 5th one will be a surprise, I think. But anyway, when this just was just like, boom, this inspiration just flowed through me in an instant. And I just went, yes, that is what I want to offer. That is an adventure because I have no idea what it's about. It was like this time last year when I had the inspiration to offer the alchemy of receiving, because I had just tapped into the silver grid and I knew that I had to co-create that space with others, that or co-create the energy. Like, that's not the right word. It was almost like we had to come together to birth the energy of the silver grid. And this is the same. We are coming together to birth the energy of this remembering. So that's a bit exciting. I don't have any details about that yet. I'm at work, but it will start in February. So I just wanted to, I wanted to share that more as an example, actually, just to say that's an adventure. That excited me. Once I tuned into to Glastonbury, to the little, it's 5 people, it's very small, to that retreat, it was like, that excited me. It was like, oh my gosh, yes, that feels really important. So that's what I want to, even though adventure's my word, although you're so welcome to use it. I haven't got it trademarked. But even though that's what I've chosen because that feels aligned for me, I recommend or I suggest that you bring that spirit of adventure into your business this year as well. Don't let go of same old, same old. If it doesn't light you up, if it doesn't inspire you, if it doesn't stretch you, then maybe it's not for you. And that's I was thinking this morning as I was walking about coming back to work and the fact I've had that yin space as I described, and I realized that it's like I'm ready to put my energy out again. I'm ready to connect with you here on YouTube or on my podcast or on Insight Timer or in my groups, wherever you are in my world. I'm ready to put my energy out and connect with you. And I'm ready to expand in my personal growth and evolution. And that happens through this. That for me happens through my connection with my tribe. And, in my beautiful time with my family and my close friends that I've just shared, it was beautiful and it was nurturing and it was very yin, but I didn't have that same level of expansion. It was my yin time. It was my time to allow the seeds of creation to come through me. And I was very nurtured in that space. But now it's like, I'm ready to connect with you guys again. I'm ready for the conversations. I'm ready for the readings of your energy body that help me. That's where I learn so much from. That's what extends me and expands me, as well as you. We're doing this so beautifully together. So that's sort of where I'm at. That's 2023 for me at this point. I've also toyed with the idea of actually running an online mystery school for those who can't come in person, which will sit between the two mystery schools. So that'll probably be from the end of June until the end of November. So it still will be 5 stages, just like the in-person mystery schools, but those 5 stages will be held over 5 months rather than 5 days. So that's there. But I don't set anything in stone, not this far out, because let's wait and see what the energies of the year, how they unfold. There's so much excitement for me around this year. There's so much potential this year. So please share with me your word. Pop it in the comments, or your phrase. Maybe it's not something you like to do, but I do feel like it does. As I said, it helps align you. It helps keep you aligned with where you're at right now, and especially if you choose a word that is really an energy that you are wanting to embody more of. It's almost like you set that intention. You set that energetic frequency for yourself. So, and you can, that might change as well over the year. Like we're in this Gregorian calendar that's not even a true calendar. I mean, we're just picking up this year. And really, I mean, at the beginning of the astrological year is probably the time to really set this in place. And so you might get to that point in around the equinox and decide, that, well, you know what, that word's not right anymore. That maybe that word was just closing these next 3 months before the equinox. So you can change it. There are no rules, remember. But it is like a North Star. We're in the playground when we return this week, where our focus this month is on vision. And I'll be taking everyone through a visioning process that we do at the beginning of every year. And I think for me, vision is about what setting that energetic frequency for your North Star. It's not about necessarily a detailed, this is how it's got to look. But it's like choosing the energy that you are wishing to embody more and more. Now, speaking of the playground, I did have a lovely big invitation period prior to Christmas, and got lots of new ladies coming in, beautiful, beautiful energy. If you missed out, you didn't miss out. The thing I offered at that time was a 12-month sign up deal, but you can still join in with the monthly rate, which is $55. So if you are thinking, now, if you weren't sure before Christmas and now you're like, yes, I definitely want to be part of Jacquelyn's playground. Oh my gosh, you won't regret it. Amazing, amazing, beautiful space. And as I said, we're going to start our calls this week for the year. So you can go to jacquelynatkins.com/, oops, sorry if that just banged. Let me start again. You can go to jacquelynatkins.com/playground. I'll also put the link below in the notes if anyone wants to check that out for the year. So that's enough, I think. My batteries, I deliberately did not charge my computer because I thought I'll just talk on and on and on, because it's been so long since we've connected and I feel like there's so much to talk about. But what I really want to talk about is I want to help you to really tune into your North Star for this year. And what will that word be? What will that phrase be? And please share it. And also to remind you to bring more of the wild rose into your year, into your personal life, into your business. I'm feeling stretched by this journey I'm taking. I'm virtually backpacking again, although my accommodation's a bit better than when I was backpacking at 22, my first ever backpacking trip. But I'm moving from place to place. I'll be traveling on trains. I am actually taking a backpack, which I haven't done since my 20s. And as I was planning the trip over the last week and booking places, and I thought, wow, my first ever trip to Europe when I was 22. I was working in England as a physio, and my boyfriend came over from Australia and we backpacked around Europe. And that was the first time I went to Europe. And we were 20 Australian dollars a day was our budget. We each had 20 Australian dollars a day. That included accommodation. So that's how rough we were doing it. We camped a lot. But I was going back to that and I was going, oh my God, there were such tough times in that trip, but it was such an adventure. And so I feel like, even though, yes, I am staying in not still budget type accommodation, but they are relatively nice apartments, at the lower scale of nice apartments. And still traveling on train, a couple of flights, but it's and I'm traveling a lot on my own as well, which is not something I have actually done a lot of. So I'm pretty excited. It is a real adventure. I know it's going to stretch me incredibly. I'm so excited to go to the land that's been calling me for some time, of these different countries, and to actually find out what that land has for me, and also what it wants from me. What exchange we have. So a very, very exciting year for me, and I want to bring you along on the exciting journey, like not just to Europe, but I mean in the energy of excitement, in the energy of alchemy, and the energy of creation. So let us create this amazing new timeline that we're creating together. And we're channeling our gifts through our businesses. We're creating our businesses in a way that supports our lifestyle and supports who we are. And I thank you so much for being on the journey with me. And I look forward to spending more time with you in 2023. So I'll see you again very soon. Lots of love, everyone. Bye.